welcome to the He Said, She Said show. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Tommy. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
So, what we were talking about today was we're wondering about privacy as far as the Bigfoot sightings are concerned, and are we are we creating danger for them and all this and that for them? What do you think about that?
Well, so here's what brought me to this subject, Tommy. Earlier this year, one of the gals on our Squatchers team started watching these videos, and I don't know if I can say who they're from, but it's this guy called his name is Scott, and he's called I totally forgot what the name of it is, but he does YouTube videos, and
How to hunt?
How to hunt. And his latest thing is he's not trying to hunt Sasquatch to hurt him, but he's very fascinated with all the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, all this research. And somewhat, so people keep writing to him about things that they've seen and whatever. And he had this compelling email from a gal who had seen Bigfoot a few times, and she reported it, and she actually told where she had seen this Bigfoot, and then she never saw it again. And she's been on the event scene, so she'll go and speak at the Bigfoot conferences and stuff. But in her mind, she's wondering if because she reported it, and I'm not going to say what organization she reported it to, but is that organization somehow working in tandem with the government, who, there have been lots of conspiracy theories talking about how they go out and kill Squatches, like the Patterson film. So, they're saying that what happened there was a big Sasquatch massacre, right? They're saying that the video that we have of Patty looking for the baby, was she was looking for her baby that was dead and buried, I guess, there somewhere. I don't know. Thoughts?
I don't know, because there's so much emotion that goes around in all these areas and stuff that I think I would be ill-advised to put a definite opinion out there.
Yeah.
Is it possible? It's all possible. I do know someone who years ago, they were having activity behind their house, and they were vocal about it, and they had a Black Hawk helicopter or whatever come in, and they thought it was a kill team that went in on their pod or whatever. It's a conundrum and a mystery. I mean, I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know, but we do hear about this occasionally,
Yes.
And when you told me that, so you were talking about the eyewitness that that had this happen, and then in my mind went back to 10 years ago when I met this big mountain man up on the borderland in Minnesota, and we talked about Sasquatch, we talked about UFOs, because there's a lot of up north. It seems like everybody who has a Bigfoot story, who's witnessed Bigfoot, has also witnessed UFOs. And we always say, are they tied together? Well, that's a topic for another show. But this guy had both. And he said that one time, all of a sudden, all these Black Hawk helicopters were over his property, and he has acres, like 10 acres or something, and looking for something. What were they looking for? I mean, it's kind of compelling. What is going on?
Yeah. And the government, what do they know, and what don't they know? And chances are they're 30 years ahead of us. This is already a done deal to them, but maybe it's to keep the phenomena quiet. I don't know.
I don't know.
And
but
I think it's just best not to say specifically about where you're going and stuff.
Right. Well, yeah, for sure. Except among people that you trust. And so geez, maybe people shouldn't be telling big organizations where they're seeing these things, because maybe it's true. I mean, how do we know? I mean, how do we know that any of that's true? We don't know. But there's some really interesting there's some really interesting videos out there about that whole Patterson thing that happened 50 some years ago, and that they say that was just a total massacre, that there were Canadian sharpshooters hired to come and take care of the Sasquatch because the Sasquatch were bothering the people that were out there to do road construction or something. I'm not really sure what all that was about. And that Patterson and Gimlin were there and they were eyewitnesses to this. I mean, I don't think they had anything to do with it, but and I've heard about footage of seeing this happen. Now, I have not seen it. I heard it's out there somewhere buried out in YouTube land of the actual shooting.
Smithsonian.
Have you seen it?
No, Smithsonian keeps it hidden.
Yes, right? Yes. So, and after these, so Carrie on our team was the one who brought some of these videos, and we shared them on our team's chat. And one of my girls actually left the team because she said, I don't want to put Sasquatch in danger. And she said, I realized that we never share any information about where we're going except to people that we trust and people that we want to bring out there with us. But at the same time, are we hurting him? Are we hurting Sasquatch more than helping? A whole different story. I don't know.
With the name of your organization being Squatchers, or the name of our organization being Cryptovania, it's probably not that much of a stretch to think that maybe someone's listening and recording what we're saying and stuff. And so, I mean, really, Mom would have to be the word on this stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it is happening or it's not.
Right. And I know you guys don't really put out where you are. I mean, because we do videos, you and I are both out in the field and we both are on YouTube videos and stuff. But we don't ever say where we are. We might say, and people ask us all the time, Tommy, here's the other thing is people come to us and say, where were you when you saw this? And we always say, we don't give out that information. And there's a guy in Minnesota, and he has this big book of all the Sasquatch sightings in Minnesota, locations, dates, details. Every time there's a Minnesota event like Bigfoot Days or Bigfoot Conference, whatever, he's there. And he always comes up to me and says, will you tell me where you found this stuff? And I always say, absolutely not. That is highly private. We don't divulge that to anyone. And he gets really mad. I mean, he stomps away and it's like, go ahead. You can do that all you want. You don't scare me. You're not going to get it out of me, And so I think it's very important that we protect them as well and not say where we are. And I guess my point is that for witnesses out there, I caution you about telling people where you're seeing these. I mean, go to somebody that you trust, like Tommy, like me, because we don't work with the big organizations. We're all on our own, and for sure, we're not going to give that information to any government bodies and stuff, that stays with us. Don't you think?
Absolutely, I do. It's
and I think the other thing, personally, I think the more research that is done, and I've often said this, the better off we are to save them. It's like I always use my example of my beloved orcas out in Washington State. If there weren't researchers that have been watching them for 50 years, they'd be in much bigger trouble than they are today. We wouldn't know that they're starving. We wouldn't know to try to break down those dams. We wouldn't know that Granny lived to be 105 years old. So people save what they love, and I think us doing what we do those of us who are out there to discover the good and to tell people what we're seeing are only spreading the love, right? And so more people love him, so they're going to protect him. What are your thoughts about that?
It depends on what he is. I mean, it depends on what he is and where he comes from and all that. I can't even say that he's interdimensional or not interdimensional, or I have so many questions on all this.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't know.
Well, and I do too. And I've often said I really think he's an interdimensional being. So how could he be killed? I guess we don't really know, right? But there's all these stories out there that make it scary, right? I mean, it's really scary because what if? What if? You know?
Yeah.
And the whole what is Bigfoot should be another topic of one of our episodes.
The important thing is that, like, the government definitely understands what he is, and they're not going to tell us. They're not going to tell us. No way, no how. Mm-hmm. Why are they not going to tell us? Yeah. Why are they? It's so maddening.
I know. I mean, it's like, it's almost like Roswell, only in a different subject. You know, I think they know a lot more than, well, I know they do. And I know they shut people up, because I've talked to plenty of people up north who used to talk about this stuff, and suddenly now they don't talk about it at all. Like somebody's gotten to them and they're done, you know? So I don't know. But all in all, I think it's good that all of us are out there, because we're out there for the truth. The truth is out there. Talking about the X-Files here, you know? And we've seen so much. We've seen so much. And yes, I've never seen an actual Squatch. I haven't looked him in the eye yet. Had lots of experiences. At night, I know he was there, just couldn't see him. Someday I will. But he's out there. We find too much weird stuff out in the woods, too many different things. You know, the Native Americans tell us he's there. They have their stories. They tell us what to do when we find things, you know. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I do think he's interdimensional, which, like I said, was another topic. So how could somebody kill him? But if he's a physical creature, yeah, then definitely we need to be afraid. But there's just so many stories.
With that, we'll have a good subject for next week's discussion.
Absolutely. I love it. Yes.
Right.
Well, cool. Well, you know, thank you to all who are watching. And hey, if you have comments, questions, shoot them on, you know, put up comments on our Facebook, or send us messages or whatever, because we'd like to hear what you think as well. What are your thoughts? And maybe we can do a whole nother show about this once we get everybody's input, you know?
You sure do. Yep, you sure will.
Thanks, everyone, for watching another episode of He Said, She Said. Yay!
See you now.
That was good. I think that was good, yes. Tommy.
When the lightning comes down, lightning comes down, when the lightning comes down, it's gonna burn this mother down. Yeah. Told you this day would come, called your name. Hell, I told everyone it's end of game. And when the lightning comes down, when the lightning comes down, when the lightning comes down, it's gonna burn this whole